Hi, welcome back to Ace Attorney Justice for All, the big scoop.
Lana, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room?
I told you, didn't I? For my scoop.
What I want to know about are the details of this scoop. The details!
That's not something I can tell you. I'm in that is my bread and butter.
All right then. An unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan and Corrida and this person? AA? Meeting?
This woman.
She's Adrian Andrews, Madame Guard's manager. Miles per hour, I know. The Nickel Samurai's manager caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin' Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season.
You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think you'll make the papers. You gotta have backup.
Backup?
Yeah, you gotta have that what's it, news source?
You mean news source?
That's it! So show me something that shows that one guy had something with Miss Andrews.
The tabloid? This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager, to the stars, Miss A.A.
Ah!
Mr. Corrida didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. On Guard's manager, Adrian Andrews. She has the initials AA. Gun. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Corrida's door last night.
Wah! Wah!
Get out of here, Wario.
No, it's whoa.
Waluigi.
Wah!
Every time I say that name, you just do one of those noises. So what happens if you say Wario Waluigi?
Oh, man. Ah, fuck! You were looking into Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you?
You were looking into Miss Corrida and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you?
There you go. You got it! I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching them in a secret meeting.
The skeezy meeting.
A skeezy meeting.
But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news.
What'd you just say? Her initials are AA? What kind of fake thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna wanna see real proof. Well, at least I do. So that's what I was doing. Getting photos. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. And spice it up with a little and have myself an exclusive story.
Wow, ow! Wow, Lotta. Nice journalistic integrity you got there.
I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know? But the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone. Your note to yourself? Was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. It done run off together. I came here for my big story. Didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me.
Yeah, I understand.
It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now, anyway?
What's the deal?
What's the deal with these cameras? I never thought I'd see the day when someone done steal something from me.
You really want that note back, huh? Got no idea why though. Story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie.
Lotta's camera stolen on the night of the murder. Tabloid article about the victim was in the case.
Got it. I need to keep that in my mind.
Yes.
Not really. It's not that important.
If it says it in the evidence, then it's important.
Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Hey, so you came, pal. Why the blunt greeting? Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence, the testimony are airtight. But, we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive.
Boo, 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 boo.
That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself.
Freeze! Police! Everyone against the wall! Hands where I can see them! Hey, what are you doing, Gumshoe? They're hands, not yours!
He must be doing amateur training for arrests. Everybody just shits on Gumshoe. So what do you mean evidence is airtight? Can't give you all the details, pal, but there's 2 big pieces.
2?
Yeah, this lump of poop.
Big poop.
And both of them are in this photo. Okay, they're gonna use the knife with the fingerprints.
Uh-huh.
And they're gonna be, okay, they're fine.
Okay, well, it's okay. It's okay.
I was gonna get it. Also, that's a large button to have just appear on somebody's pants.
Yeah. A memento. You know, some people like take the hands of the victims.
I take this button and I stick it on my pants.
Yes.
The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button we found during your body search on Mr. On Guard. Yep, I found it in the folds of Nickel Samurai's special pants. Huh? And the second one is, I found it in his ass. Yes. Is that really what he was just basically saying?
Well, no, he was like, I found it in his pants. I ruffled my way around the inside of his pants.
I felt his balls.
Yes, baboo.
And then the button fell out.
Ba-ba-da-boo-ba.
I looked at him and said, cough. The knife.
Gumshoe, something fell out. Huh?
Please stop. The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife. In his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose were they?
You don't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Madame Guards. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Airtight testimony.
So what about the airtight testimony? It's the old security lady, Miss Oldbag. Thought so. What do you mean? You thought so? Did she tell you something, pal? Well. And I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blabbed anyway.
I'm gonna have to kill her then.
Her blab knob is stuck on 10. There's no turning it down, trust me. Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. On Guard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
No way!
Again, did she see Mr. On Guard or did she see the costume?
Worry about that for the next session, okay?
She's a dumb bitch who doesn't belong
in society.
Anywhere.
She should dematerialize.
We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves. The scandal with Mr. Kurita, but why? Why?
But why?
Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed. You see that flashback too? What the fuck happened, man? I ain't even read my line yet. Committed suicide.
Suicide?
Her name was Celeste Impax. Trying to figure out the pun with her name.
I would just say that impacts, like the impact. Okay. Yeah.
And she was one Kurita's manager. The victim's manager. But that's not all, pal. Wait till you find this out. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one.
A mentor?
A woman who was both Mr. Kurita's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case? Do you want to know more about her, pal? She was the victim's manager and was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence. She's here! Yeah!
I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another.
Miss Von Karma!
You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do, Scruffy. You have 13 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's
Wait! Please wait, sir! If I don't get this month's pay, I'll—
Quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you, I would have won. Is that what you want to say?
That voice. Edgeworth!
Oh! Oh! It's been a long time. Right. This person... It's Mr. Edgeworth?
Shut up, Pearl! It's Edgeworth, shut up!
What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Franziska. You... How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it! You've soiled the Von Common name, dragged it through the mud! You don't even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are! Are you talking about the Von Common family creed? To be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Finn is right. He will see you tomorrow in court.
Now it just looks like she's whipping herself like she's from the fucking Da Vinci.
It will be a clinical lesson on the total meaning, on the meaning of total victory.
He's over here being Paul Bettany.
Still the wild mare she always was.
And I'm the wild stallion. No, I wouldn't even dare.
I have no interest in talking about useless evidence. Put a little more thought into what you'd show me. Phoenix Wright.
Still as stuck up as ever. That's why I love you!
Oh, this guy over here has something else to say?
I must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling.
Hey there now. You'll be okay, but you're not injured that badly. Hey now, is it? Hey, Gumshoe! Gumshoe! Gumshoe!
I'm sorry, is that an image training for Gumshoe dying from a hangnail?
Yeah. Presenting.
Pretty interesting that Gumshoe's part of these training modules, though.
He's that popular.
I thought you, the prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died.
Mr. Nick!
I never wanted to see you again.
I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year.
Are you going to run tomorrow's trial?
You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So, no. I don't think I'll be making an appearance. What the fuck is this thing? Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow.
Alright, Pearl, I need Mia. How's that? Does that work?
No, I'm not talking about Mia.
What's that supposed to be?
I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth.
He said the thing that we always said in the first key. The truth?
In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information.
Just what is going on inside his head? I hate Von Karma. I hate Von Karma. I hate Von Karma.
A lot of things may have happened. However, Manfred Von Karma was still my mentor. And a perfect win record is proof of a Von Karma.
1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Were those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? I think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd be better for everyone if you came back from the dead.
If you never
came back from the dead, Edgeworth.
I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason?
Well, with Franziska, she almost always says,
I will defeat you this time.
instant she sees me. But courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives.
Save your client, you say?
Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you are a prodigy. Someone like you, Edgeworth.
It looks like there is still a lot you have yet to learn.
A lot I have yet to learn. Me?
Well, that's enough for now. The time will come when you... the time will come. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. Presenting stuff. Me! We are looking into the leads. We can only look into a few key players with our limited resources. There's no reason for us to waste our energy investigating this person.
Why don't you just tell
Because
it to
I did
me
not do
straight
it.
and say I don't have any info?
Let's start with, Longreader. There's an interesting rumor about this man.
You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? But that's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it?
I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found. Ah! That's the wrong button. While I was abroad, these deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it.
Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto.
Refreshing? What is so refreshing about a spring breeze?
Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year.
Adrian Andrews. He holds a large secret within himself.
A secret?
You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her. This woman is another key to solving this case.
Do you really think so?
She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Ron Corrida's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impacts died.
But her death was ruled a suicide, right?
Yes, but there was still one riddle we've yet to solve.
A riddle?
Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it.
Suicide? It just vanished, huh?
Miss Impact's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there was no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it.
A suicide note? How do you know Miss Impacts had even written such a note?
There was no solid evidence. However, we did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high.
But who would hide such a thing?
The police think it was Mr. Ron Corrida himself.
The victim. Ah! Give me that note.
Ooh, a gift card. He was the one who found her body.
Ah, free any size from Coldstone?
Ooh, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note.
Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note. Why?
As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway.
Part 1?
Suicide report. Deceased Celeste Impact found by Ron Corrida. Was her suicide note hidden?
Thanks for that.
Oh, I can't look at it. Well, present it. I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Most of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has 2.
2 parts.
What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here is the second part.
The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name is Adrian Andrews.
Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself. She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself.
You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
secret?
Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside.
Miss Andrews, dependent. Talk about the exact opposite of that woman is. Of what that woman is.
Do you ever the same? Oh, you do!
What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature?
Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide. It's a few days after the death of Celeste Impacts.
And
why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live.
lost her will. Why would she?
Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impacts, is gone forever. That's why.
Why would that?
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live.
And that's the nature of her dependency on others.
When Celeste Impact suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself.
Then that means her super confident attitude.
It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together.
How terrible.
Attempted suicide report! Attempted Adrian Andrews. Reason, shock from Celeste Impact's suicide.
Well, it looks like we're gonna go to Adrian Andrews now, so we can go, hey, I'm gonna break all of your locks.
I see a bunch of locks there.
Oh,
also, one of the plates is missing its knife.
Ah!
Just thought I'd point that out now.
But it looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Franziska von Karma.
Miss Von Karma?
What are you doing here?
Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
You've got some nerve following me around.
Following you?
That's you, Miss Von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls?
You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh.
It's true, though.
Let me show you something interesting, little girl. It's a Geiger counter.
Rooms filled with radiation. You will all die quickly.
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move.
But then wouldn't you also just be admitting to the fact that you are following Scruff? After saying I'm not following him? I'm not following him. I put a tracker on him so I could follow him. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for the poor Detective Gumshoe now.
Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews! Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
Present the Magatama. I have the Magatama. Do it now! Motive for murder.
Motive. Yep, we're going for motive. Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Unguard's life in danger by your actions?
Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corrida.
You were not that close?
That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person.
You're not good at being intimate with another person. Somehow, I highly doubt that.
Because?
Because of her mentor?
Nope.
Or are we going for like the tabloid in it?
Yeah.
You and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not?
Do a little bit of a slow burn and, pick it up. A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you ever had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish.
Well, it seems quite a few people have already brought it into this... into this story. By the way, this is America, you bitch! We don't say rubbish!
Rubbish. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars.
We say garbage! Note to self, stay on our good side.
In any case, I despise international relationships! Interpersonal relationships like that.
I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone?
Hey? Need to get close to Mr. Kurita. As if there was ever such a need.
Can't you get close to Mr. Kurita for this person's sake? It's either her client or it's going to be her mentor.
What do you think?
I'm going to say, at the moment, I think mentor because that's who worked for Kurita. Celeste Impact's your mentor.
How do you know about Celeste?
Miss Impact, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Kurita's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Kurita so you could find out more about her suicide.
You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid.
Mrs. Andrews?
There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing.
Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved because you tried to kill yourself.
No?
Anyway.
No?
I believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Why? Because they didn't find the note? This Impact suicide note was never found, was it? Looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Kurita.
What?
And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Kurita.
I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others.
That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are.
What?
I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impacts was someone very special to you. Now it's a suicide.
Yeah.
I guess attempted.
Yeah.
Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you?
Went through with what?
Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself.
Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember.
However, that is all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on.
That's...
You were dependent on Impacts, Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had.
Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note.
You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Kurita of hiding Miss Impact's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes.
What do you mean?
What topic did we start this conversation on again?
It was why was the victim killed?
Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with a reason to want Mr. Kurita dead.
Me?
Miss Impacts was everything to you. And then she died. He would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder.
Murder? You did it! Huzzah! You did it! It's true. I'm a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I only have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews, it's one thing. It's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret. Mine and mine alone.
I'm sorry.
You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you?
Please, Miss Andrews. I only want to know. All I want to know is the truth.
After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was your Aunt Kurita. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me.
What if this is just another case of suicide?
Like Ron Kurita killed himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna feel like the same thing that happened with...
Yeah.
Hammer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Except this time, I kind of feel like he poisoned himself, and she didn't want it to look like a suicide, but she stabbed him.
Okay. So you're thinking like kind of like a Game of Thrones, like Olenna death, like she who castle's surrounded, and Jaime Lannister's there to kill her, and then she takes the poison herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to know it was me.
So you got close to Mr. Kurita to recover her suicide note, correct?
Looks like the tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
And they purposely added fuel to the fire. I keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't. And wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me. That's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so...
I understand.
Now, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it as a secret. Miss Andrews, if people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live.
Alright, I understand. Keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's overthinking, the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first.
Thank you for your discretion.
Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
Can I have that last little hand sandwich?
It's just
in the tray still.
It's just a bone.
No, it's in the tray.
Oh, that? Yes.
It's a tea sandwich.
Hmm.
I'm hungry. I'll eat the bones after. What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
Card. That shellfish. Yeah, I guess she has. Andrews, what is that card you're holding?
Huh? This? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag.
A calling card? Have the Phantom Thieves... Are you a bad person? What is it? Looks like a seashell?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. Where would I pick it up from?
Her not remembering something clearly sounds like it would be a rare occurrence.
Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Ongard in your capable hands.
Hallelujah.
All the way, all the way.
Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Miss Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine. I really am.
You don't look fine to me. So we're going back to the office, and you're gonna take a nap.
No.
Go to sleep!
There's no one here. Everyone's gone. I wonder if the three of them went to eat together.
I don't think they'd ever do that. Probably in yet another meeting. That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself.
Can't dig through the cereal box. Can't dig for the prize. I'll lose sight of the target and ruin the cereal.
Must be doing some image training for stakeout.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Impact's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. However, son of a bitch.
Ah, Mr. Nick, the transceiver!
Hello, Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone.
Maya, where's Maya?
As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time.
Yeah.
Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished.
What?
So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost. Wouldn't you agree?
Wait, Maya, let me hear her.
Very well.
That's my...
Maya, is that you?
Shit! That's my sis!
Maya, damn it! He cut me off!
Mr. Maya said, ask my sister, didn't she?
I need Mia! What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry. Ah! I mean... Mia! I have a message from Maya. So come, ask me anything you want about her.
And we're gonna find out what the message is in
The next
we're gonna
episode!
watch this episode of Phoenix Destiny. Just for all, make sure to like, subscribe, and a bell time. Please notify every time we upload, which is
Every day!
bye.